Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to the Arc Cake Coach podcast. My name is Cristina Revalo. I'm a sugar paste modeling artist, a teacher, a coach for cake artists, Cake Friends Day creative community manager, award winning cake decorator, and representative of international cake competitions. I'm so happy to have you here. If you are a cake artist, a cake enthusiast, or a baker who is seeking some help, in anything related to your time management, social media management, setting your goals for yourself or your business, your mindset towards your business, or even a few hints of how to be part of the international cake community, cake collaboration, and cake competitions, you are in the right place. So, welcome to today's episode. Hello, my sweet friends, and welcome to another episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Christina here. So happy to have you here. Today's episode is actually an interview that I had in my sleep for a long time. Is with my sweet friend Marc Kevin Reyes. But between editing the interview and between releasing other episodes, I didn't have the time to share it. But now this is the day. This is for you, Marc. Thank you so much for being part of this podcast. What a beautiful interview. We had some issues with the sound, so I already asked you to forgive me if the sound is too low or if you have trouble listening to Marc. We had some issues with the microphone, but the content of the interview is so beautiful that I decided to release it anyway. Marc is a beautiful soul, beautiful man, filled with wisdom at his very young age, full of talent, and I could not be happier and more proud of having him here in the Art K Coach podcast. So enjoy today's interview, listen to Marc, and learn something from this beautiful soul that is not only talented but humble and just love. If I can describe a word for Marc, it's just love. So enjoy this interview, and I hope that you will take away many beautiful things from today's episode. Okay. Hello, my sweet friends, and welcome to another episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Christina here, and I have a very special guest with me today, my sweet, sweet friend Marc. Hello, Marc. How are you? M- Uh, it's an honor for me to have you. It's Marc Kevin Reyes from Philippines. That's correct. I'm not getting it wrong. Young and talented, and with a lot of success on his way, and hopefully many, many more to come. So I wanted to have you here today. We talk a little bit behind the scenes, but yes, because I truly believe there's new talent coming, and you're part of that new talent, and you are already in the path of success, and I think your story can be inspirational for so many people that are starting and maybe coming from not the United States or not Europe, in a different country, and maybe who's hard to find supplies, and where the cake industry is not that big, but still you can have success with your talent. So welcome to the podcast today. How are you feeling? How's the weather over there?
Thank you, thank you. Actually, right now here in my country, the Philippines, it's a little bit cold because it's January to February season. Normally, they have a right term for that. I just forgot it. It's like the wind from the Western and Eastern countries are somehow coming over to Asia, so it's a little bit cooler in our area.
Yeah, I remember in Venezuela we call it the northern winds because
Yeah, I think
it
that's
was
right.
around January, February. I mean, I lived in a tropical city also. It was hot all the time, but it was less hot in January and February. It was nicer at night, at the by the beach. It was a little bit nicer. Good, good. So, Marc, where exactly are you in Philippines? Where city are you located?
Actually, yes, yes. My exact area, it's in Pasig City,
Mm,
Metro Manila, Philippines. So,
okay.
it's actually a little bit rich in terms of culture, especially the colonization era during those times. Manila. Manila is really like one of those cities that were center of the historical
Yeah.
things here in the Philippines.
Philippines had a big Spanish colonization, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Ye-
Actually, uh, that's what I always share with young people in my country that you have to be inspired in a way that we are like colonized by a lot of different countries before.
Mhm.
So we kind of get parts and part of their different cultures in a way. So we're colonized by the Spaniards, the Americans, and of course the Japanese also.
Yeah, but it
So
makes it makes
it's
also rich culture, right? All that mixture.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I had a friend from Philippines when I was an exchange student in the United States, and it was funny because we found out that we had many words in common from Spanish, of course, that stayed in the
Yes,
language,
yes.
right? Even your name,
Yes.
yeah, Reyes is more of a Spanish Hispanic name, right? So yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Actually, just a trivia, friend Christina.
Yes.
My mother's side, actually, they are from mostly from Spain, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So our surname on the mother's side is Casas
Okay.
and Eusebio. So that's from my mother's side.
Your mother's
So
side.
we still have some relatives. So, yeah, was
Oh,
still in the
that's nice. That's nice. That's so nice. It's so nice. And I can relate to that because in Venezuela we were also Spanish colony, of course, but there's a big mixture of people from all over the world. So it's normal that in a family you will have like an Italian grandmother and a Spanish grandfather and a French grandmother in the other side. I mean, it's absolutely normal but it makes us a rich culture. Good, Mark. Does that rich culture, that background, has inspired you in your work as a cake artist?
Of course, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times actually, because I always believe that because in our country actually, very few tried to connect international. So knowing that when I was starting, that was like one of my goals
Mm.
to really connect and share with people international. Because for me, even though we're like far apart, like us, even though we're far from each other, we are connected by this passion for cakes, which is a really good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so just for the our audience to know, right now I'm in Lisbon, Portugal, and it's 10:30 in the morning, and Mark is in Philippines. It's around 6:30 or closer to 7.
Yes.
Yeah, in the afternoon, night. So, and this is what makes, I mean, I wouldn't know Mark if it wasn't for the K community. And
Yes.
that's one of the beauties of this international K community. Mark, you said something right now that caught my attention. First of all, you said that when you started, you set a goal of make it not
Yes.
local but international. I love it because as the art K coach, I'm always about setting goals and manage your time and all of that. And I try to get that across the community how important it is to set your goals straight from the beginning. And in that in one side, I want you to tell me about that, about your mind of goal setting, and in the other side, why you decided to get out of your small world, if we could say it like that, and span internationally. What was the reason behind that?
Okay. Actually, in terms of goal setting, for me it's really important, especially for youth nowadays, because a lot of youth, especially the Gen Z, they're a little bit impulsive in terms of making decisions. Because when you set a goal, normally, you have a guide. And for you to attain that or to target that goal, you actually set a lot of things way before. So, which is really important. It serves as a really nice guide for us. But also, you have to know, on the other hand, this is actually way more of my mindset over things. Not all the time, everything that you planned and set as a goal will be achieved. But the good thing is, there's a saying that aim for the moon and you might strike for the stars. You know, it's
Yes.
really, really true because sometimes God actually meddles in a way to bring you actually to the path where you're supposed to be. I would just like to share, like in my experience, I came from a family of chefs and cooks and bakers. Like
Okay.
my mom is she bakes also a lot.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, actually I'll post a picture and I'll also send it to you right after this interview. I actually found an old photo of my grandma and I actually bonding together for a small cake order from the family. So it
Oh.
was way, way back when I was younger. Yeah. So going back, for me, it's really important, goal setting. And not all the time, just like in my story, my personal experience, I just really love to eat when I was younger. So normally I eat what my mom bakes and then I just nib a lot. But I was exposed to like piping and baking years before when I was younger. But then my interest was more on the art side. So it's more on creating, painting, gardening, and a lot of different florals, which is reflected
We
to my
can see that
plants.
in your work.
Yes, yes. So for me, I actually took a course. My first course was actually more onto the art side. So
Mm-hmm.
it's business and advertising. And
Okay.
then I worked in advertising for a few years. And then until suddenly the cakes, so there were cake orders and they came into me. And then my mom was pregnant that time. So no one has to do it aside from me. So that's where it all started. And then when I started making cakes, it's really comforting for me. It's like a therapy
Yeah.
because it's actually because just like what I always share to people, we are artists, but then our canvas are cakes.
That's it.
So we express our creativity through cakes. Yes, and it's a good thing because one, it's edible, it's yummy, and then another thing is it's pretty and it's good looking, right? So it's like two birds in one stone.
It's a win-win,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
it's a win. Yeah. And then now fast forwarding today to my like how I do set goals and my experiences towards it. When I started the goal of actually going out or international, what really inspired or pushed me to do that is when I was starting, I saw that a lot of them are just focusing here locally.
Yeah.
So, because I always have that mindset of not actually taking the same path as what my ancestors are usually taking or like everyone is taking. So I usually it's actually my personality type. So we're like trailblazers. So we usually create our own trail so that it can be more comfortable for us.
Yeah.
You know, because there are certain people like us who is, you know, we can go on to the normal kind of things, but
Yeah.
why not make it something better? So
I
that was my
hear I
mindset.
hear you, Mark. Yeah. I know, I know. I understand you. I totally understand
But
you.
you know, yes, yes. But when I was starting, you know, it was never that easy.
Mm-hmm.
So what really pushed me to just keep on going is that I always try to look back to how I started, and then I try to count the little blessings that I receive,
Ah, yeah.
and then that actually motivates me, you know, to if I started this before and I was only like this, and then now I'm already like this, so what more can I do, and how many people can I help more and inspire if I continue on this path? So that actually inspires me
That's
always.
that's just beautiful, and it's such a
Yeah.
fantastic way of thinking, of mind setting. You have said it correctly. And how old are you, Mark? Sorry to ask you.
Currently, I'm 28,
Oh my
28
God.
years old.
What was I doing when I was 28? I mean, look at the wisdom of this. Listen to the wisdom of this young 28-year-old. I have to say, probably a very old soul inside of you, dear, because what you're saying has taken so many of us so many years to realize, to come to realize that it's true. I mean, when you are in your now and you count your blessings and you look back, it's true. You can only think, what else can I achieve, and how many other people can I help and touch?
Yes.
And that's why the blessings keep coming. It's funny because life sometimes gives you these little lessons, and you have no idea how many times during these last 2 weeks I have been hearing this that you just said to me from different ways, books, videos, other people, and it's all about that. It's all about counting your blessing. So I can only wish you more blessings to come, because with that attitude, Annie,
Thank you.
you're
Thank
gonna
you.
have a long road ahead. What a beautiful story. So you started with your family. It started by chance, if you can say, because nobody else could do the cake, so you did it. Um,
I actually, for me, my term for that one was the accidental cake order.
yeah.
It was like,
It all started with quotes, the accident cake order. That's what was the cake? Do you remember? What the
yeah, actually, because during that time, I do have a background already with fondant and
Mm-hmm.
buttercream and ganache. I mean, watching my aunts and my mom do it. But with the flowers, I actually don't have any idea how do you create it into flowers.
Okay.
So the first cake that I did that was fully hand painted, and it was around 5 years.
Okay.
So I
That was the
had more
accidental cake,
background.
5 tier cake.
Yeah,
Oh my
that was
god,
yeah, that
I
was
would
like
have been so scared.
actually so what I did, I just painted a lot of tulips onto that cake,
Okay.
that 5 year cake, and then I tried experimenting on having a little bit embossed texture. So that's using the
Okay.
fondant because I don't know how to make gum paste that time yet.
Okay.
So yeah, it was fully hand painted. I'll send you a picture of that later on.
Please do. I would love to share that story in the groups. That's beautiful. And how old were you when you did that?
Um, I was actually that was my first years of working. So I would say around 20 or 19 years old.
Oh my God. You were so young and you tackled that thing like, yes, I'm going to do a 5 tier painted cake. Why not? Awesome. Awesome. That is beautiful. Um, Now, if you don't, for those of you who don't know who Mark is, please go and check it. And we'll be leaving all the social media from Mark here so you can go and check it in the episode. But Mark specializes on sugar flowers. He might have
Yes,
started
that's
with a
right.
5 tier painted cake, but he doesn't specialize, and he's famous for his beautiful work with sugar flowers. Which, if you have listened to this episode before, and if you know me, it's not my cup of tea. I don't do flowers, so I really admire people who does it, because the few times that I have tried, for me, it's like rocket science. I can't. It's like, no, this is not for me. Uh, but Mark, you not only have you're not only an artist of the flowers, but you have your recipes for the gum paste. Is that correct? Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Did you created those recipes? Why? By chance, trying? How was it? How was it that you came across that?
Yeah, actually, people don't know that much, but my specialization in terms of cake making and pastry and culinary industry is recipe development. So I'm more on the research and development side.
Okay.
So yeah, because when I started with gum paste, of course, the first recipe that I used is the recipe of Chef Nicolas Lodge,
Oh yeah.
which is a very good recipe. Yeah. I learned that also from school, so that's what we used a lot way back in culinary school. But I always have that characteristics in me wherein sometimes I don't feel that. I think it's good, but I have this certain feel with my hands with like clay and stuff. So I kind of experimented a lot. So the when coming up with recipes, of course, it's a long process. So some of the recipes that I release today for my workshops and classes is a product of years of testing and research.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of. Because sometimes you want to create some. you formulate,
Okay.
and then at most times it's not a success instant. So it takes me years, months to actually test and perfect that until I'm happy with how it works
Yeah.
and the consistency.
And
Yeah.
also you have the issue of humidity, I guess, right? In
Yes,
Philippines,
yes, yes.
yes, it's a very humid country, which for us cake artists and anyone who works with any kinds of gum paste, sugar paste, modeling paste, chocolate knows how the humidity is our enemy. So did you master? Oh, you master also a recipe that works well with humidity? Is that correct?
Yes, yes, I actually have that also.
Awesome.
It's funny because I actually tested that at our rest house because we have a rest house which is located way up in the mountains.
Okay.
So just imagine humidity, it's like around 80 to like around 70 to
Oh
80%
my
most of the
God.
time. So
Yes.
yeah, because it's really foggy and so I usually bring their cakes
Mm.
covered in a styrofoam cakes covered, and then I just leave it outside in the
Okay,
forest.
to test
So
it.
that's where I do notes. Yeah,
Oh,
that's where I
that's
do notes and
that's
to
clever.
test
That's a
them.
good thing. That's a good thing because you will know for sure that it will work for your
Yes,
clients. Awesome. And do you I can only imagine the beauty of the nature of that place. And I know you're a
yes,
flower,
yes.
I mean you love flowers and you always post pictures of your gardens and your flowers. Is that a source of inspiration for you as well?
Yes, a lot of times actually. Actually, if you see this, well, actually, most of you will just be hearing the audio, but I do have a painting at my back, so
Yes.
it's because I also do love to paint. So
Lovely.
most of the inspiration, that's why if you check my profile, it's all floral,
Yes.
nature inspired. Because I always see a lot of different patterns and color mixes with the beauty of nature that
Yes.
actually God provides to people.
Oh, it is. It is. It is. It is a source of inspiration, especially if you work with sugar flowers and
Yes, a lot.
with that medium, because you do get inspired from what nature gives you. What can you say are or have been? Um, because I know you're a very positive person. You have a very positive mindset, which I love. I admire because I preach that. I preach that a positive mindset changes everything. But we always have
Yes, correct.
struggles. We always have things to overcome. For you, what have been your biggest struggles in your career as a cake artist?
Oh, okay. Actually, there's a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but to name a few, which is one of the what I consider to be somehow a little bit painful.
Okay.
Um, because when I was starting, when everything as in it was like raining with opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I'm not saying this to brag, but rather to inspire young people,
Sure.
especially if you're that one who is a little bit more bold and really confident with what you can share.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was there was actually a lot of different brands, baking and culinary brands who tried to connect and work with me.
Okay.
So what happened was, that's where I actually proved to myself that sometimes when you say something or do something for others, you get judged. And then when you don't say anything at all, you get judged also.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna get judged anyway. So yeah,
judged all the time.
yeah, might as well
Yeah, and
do
then
it because it's gonna happen anyway. Yeah.
yeah, and then my take on that was like, since they're going to judge you either way, so just do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that if they judged you, at least you know for yourself and God sees it that you did the right thing.
Yeah.
So when I started, the issue was I was always being compared to the elder sugar flower artists and
Okay.
cake makers in the industry.
Got
So
it.
to the point wherein sometimes when there is an activity that is posted by another organizer
Mm-hmm.
with the elder chef, another organizer who is actually battling that organizer will get me. And then
Okay.
what happens is the attendees are actually transferring from their registrations to mine. So my area was always like full house, fully booked, and then there's a lot of people even outside. So that actually somehow ignited the fire
Mm.
between some of the elder chefs in the industry with me. So my take on that, because I'm the kind of person who is not really comfortable sleeping if I know someone is mad at me.
Okay.
So I actually, yeah, I know it's weird, but
No, no, no.
I
I
tried,
get you. I get you. Don't worry. Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
get you.
tried, I tried to talk to that elder chef and tell her that I really admired you and things
Yeah.
like that. And then I was sorry for what happened. And then she actually find it a little funny because I was the first one to actually say sorry just for that kind of thing. And then
Okay.
I was telling them, because I don't want any issues in the industry, that's why. That's
Yeah.
why here in the Philippines, when I was starting, they always see me a little bit funny, especially for elder chefs, because when I go to a specific area to teach and conduct a lesson, I try to search and locate who is really known for that area. And
Okay.
then I try to, uh, like connect with that someone and then just inform them that, hey, I'll be teaching in your area. So it's like a courtesy that I give to them. And
That's
then what
beautiful.
it gave me back is actually the connection and friendship that is immeasurable, that is really nice and wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, that is
Yeah.
beautiful. Mark, let's just stop for a little while and come back in a second because we have to talk a little bit about the sponsors of this episode. And we will be right back
Sure,
with
sure.
Mark and more of our interview. And today's episode is brought to you by Rasarco's Thick Food Coloring. They are amazing. They come in many colors and many shades of different colors. And the best part, they can be used in all edible mediums. I just recently used the most vibrant blues and purples and oranges and red colors for a gelatin that I was painting. That I was doing my 3D gelatin art that is made with a syringe inside of clear gelatin. And to my surprise, because the base of the, let's say, of the preparation for the flowers is it's cream and it's white. It's very, very white. And when I use just 2 or 3 drops of Rasarco's thick food coloring, it immediately changed to a beautiful tone of a very dark colors. So I highly, highly recommend these products. Thank you, Rasarco, for being part of the Art K Coach. Thank you for allowing me to use your beautiful colors. And thank you for being the sponsors of today's episode. Okay, we are back with Mark. Hello, sweetie. So, I was saying behind the scenes now, what a beautiful story with how you handled your elder uh, um, uh, cake artist in the area.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, is that is about working together. So, those were your struggles. Now, your achievements. What for you
Oh,
are your biggest achievements so far?
okay. Actually, in terms of achievements, I actually consider them. Each and every achievement for me is actually very special
Mm-hmm.
because it's like little steps and milestones towards something bigger.
Okay.
But for me, the biggest for this time is when, aside from when I was invited to be one of the judges international, um, because I've been invited as a judge in my country, the Philippines,
Okay.
but working together with other judges international, that's a really different kind of thing
Yeah.
because you learn from one another. You learn how they see their own perspectives towards this kind of craft Because in the Philippines, we have a different perspective with cake art and sugar art. But when I started working with other judges, international, I actually learned from them also, like how they see things. So for me, that's one of the greatest achievement because it's not only about you celebrating and enjoying, but at the same time, you also learn something. So for me, that's what's really important because I always see myself as a work in progress, so because in our timeline or in our time frame, I always believe that there will always come there are always things that will come in your way that is bigger and better than what you have achieved currently. So it's like God is giving you like small baby steps along the way before He actually gives you something way bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I truly, absolutely agree with you on that one. My in my I'd say my intake in life is, um, I always have my goals and achieve them, but every time I achieve one, my process is thank you for this, celebrate
Yes.
it, internalize everything, and then immediately my mind goes like, where's next? What's next? What do I have to
Right.
keep doing? So yeah, I get you on that one. And at the end of the day, you're enjoying the path because it's not about a final destination. It's about many milestones and many celebrations. So you end up enjoying that path as well. Um,
Yes, sir.
yes, it's nice. Mark, those were your victories, or you mentioned that you have had many victories. If you can, I think you already said it, but if you can share with especially people who's starting, what is your secret for success?
Yeah, for me, my secret actually, it's just first, just always believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because there will be a lot of times it will be really, really hard, as in you really want to give up already, but always believe in yourself on how you started. Why are you on this place in the first thing? And then you always have to see that for others to believe in you and for others to see you as who you are genuinely, you have to believe in yourself first. Because if you do that, it radiates and people see that.
Yeah.
That's what actually people and the community is looking for nowadays. Someone who is really genuine, honest, and just, reflects what he actually speaks and does. So that's
Yes.
really important.
Yes.
And then another thing is, um, this is what I always share with younger generations. At times, sometimes the world won't be that good to you. If the world is not that good to you at the moment, always strive to be a good person, no matter what instance that you have.
Ah, that's
Because
beautiful.
you never know it. Sometimes, yeah, bad situations and problems actually offer a hidden opportunity that you can actually showcase more yourself or
Yep.
you can actually help more a lot of people along the way.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. I'm getting goosebumps right now. It's absolutely beautiful because it's always about how you see these opportunities. Problems are happening for you to be an opportunity to
Yes.
grow, to face it, to learn. That is absolutely true. Like I say, that the messages are coming everywhere. What you're saying to me, I was watching something last night and was saying this person was saying that is another coach, a very famous one, and he was saying that life is happening for you, not to you. So it's for you. You realize that the biggest problem people have is thinking that they shouldn't have problems. Problems are part of life and are
Yes.
part of growing. So it's beautiful that you have that mindset and that intake in such a young age. Uh, if I can ask, where does that come from? Were you raised in that mentality, or did you? it's something that is yours, comes to you in this life? You just happen to be like that, or is it something that you learn? How did you get to this mindset that you have right now at such a young age?
Yeah, that's a very good, that's a very nice question, I would
Yeah.
say. For me, believe it or not, because nowadays people usually see like the tip of the icing,
Mm-hmm.
like what I do and how I am and how I react towards certain things. But very few actually knows about my story starting way up when I was really, really young.
Mm-hmm.
So, that actually helped informing me as a person right now.
Yeah.
When I was very, very young, as in super duper young, I came from a family of not only chefs and cooks, but also politicians.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're like the longest political dynasty in Pasig City. So the Eusebios. So we held Pasig City for a very long time. And since I was young, I was exposed to a lot of different instances wherein I saw injustices in the society, inequality, and things like that. And
Okay.
also with my gender, because I'm a proud LGBT and I support well the LGBT community. So
Yeah.
I had a fair take of different discouragements, challenges, and
Yeah.
also criticisms in a way. So that's why I always that's where I my quote actually comes from, the one that I said earlier, that even if the world is not that good to
Mm.
you at the moment, always strive to be a good person.
Oh, that's sweet.
Because during that moment, I was about elementary. I think I was around 8 years old that time.
Very young.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
that was the time wherein, my dad that time is not really that okay about me being LGBT. I was the first boy in the family, and I was the only child of my
Yeah.
parent that time.
Yeah.
So and then I had relatives on my mother's side, which is also LGBTs. My other uncle and aunts were LGBT. So my father's side was really against that.
Okay.
So I actually had, at a very early age, I had a very wide view of the inequalities in the society. So I always tried to ask myself that time early on, how can you change that?
Mm-hmm.
I know it's really, really hard to change people's mindset and perspective. So, yeah, what I try to do is I need to prove them by starting with myself. When my father's side actually saw that even if you're LGBT, you can still be a decent person, which actually makes a lot of things for the
That's,
society.
yeah, I know.
So, yeah,
That's my point. That's been my point. Sorry to interrupt you. Just keep going. I'll say it at the end because that's my point. That doesn't define you as a
that's
good or
actually
bad person. Never. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Actually, that's one of the things I am slowly correcting in our country right now. Because usually I get also invited to talk about the LGBT community for the younger
Oh,
generations.
that's
I
beautiful.
always try to,
It's.
yes, I always try to tell the younger generations of
Mm-hmm.
LGBTs that even though you are an LGBT person, you don't have to be that low or that loud just for you to be noticed. Because you yourself, just being you, is noticeable. You
Yes.
don't have to change anything about yourself
Yes.
just for you to be accepted by a certain group.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to inspire them. Like even me, I'm an LGBT, but I dress decently like this because I'm
Yeah.
happy like this.
And you're very
Uh,
religious, is that correct? You practice your
yeah,
religion as well, something that some people left behind because they don't feel identified with that.
yes,
So that's pretty. You never stop being you, and that's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's Mark. I mean, you have no idea how inspiring this interview is been because you're not only believing in yourself, setting a right mindset, overcoming all of the things that you overcame by being positive because this could have happened to another kid and that kid could have been rebellious and, against their family, against society, or depressed or suicidal, and you turn that into a beautiful mindset, into a beautiful art, into believing yourself, and most important, into inspire others. And that's a beautiful thing. And only for that, my friend, you deserve all the blessings that you have, and many more to come, because it's not only about sugar flowers. We are more than that. Last month we were talking about goal setting, and in one of the podcasts I mentioned that we're a whole. It's not just goal setting about your business. It's you, your health, your mindset. Everything is part of you and constructs who you are, and you are definitely an example of that. What can we expect of Mark in the future? What are your future plans, if you can share them with us?
Yes, yes, thank you. Actually, currently, my plans is because the industry is slowly opening up once again after the crazy, crazy pandemic. So my goal, I'm actually trying to. That's why if you see a lot of my posts, with my rest house in the mountains, this time around, I'm trying to enlarge more my advocacies on reforestation projects. Yep. So we're planting a lot of seeds for trees that is usually planted on mountains, that is slowly being, somehow, sometimes people get a lot of lumber from the trees. So, but they're not planting back. So
Okay.
I always feel that, if God placed me for flowers and cakes, might as well, since I also grow a lot of flowers, which I love flowers a lot, why not help Mother Earth heal? So that's one of my advocacies. And then, in my small community, in the rest house area, because there's a lot of people there who is not that equipped
Okay.
with education and knowledge. So I
Okay.
was trying to give them certain things on how they can earn, but at the same time benefiting the environment. So we started with agroforestry. So it's like agriculture in the forest. Like, how do you plant vegetables the right way?
Of course.
And yeah, and then like right now we planted a lot of cinnamon trees. Because
Oh,
you can use it for
oh,
cakes.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
and
love
then
cinnamon. That's great. That's
then
great.
vanilla orchids, because vanilla is really expensive, and the
Yeah.
pure
Yes.
vanilla. So
Any
that's
is that a thing you do? Is it an organization that maybe we can talk about here and be make people aware that they can help you as well?
actually it's just my own thing.
It's your own
So
thing.
normally, yeah, because these days, especially in the Philippines, there's like a big shift in the political position. So actually, the past election, the recent election was a little bit crazy.
Mm.
So I always had that view in myself. I don't rely that much on politicians to create small changes,
Yeah.
because you yourself, you
Yes.
can create changes on your own. That's why sometimes people are asking me, what do you do with your money, with the bunch of workshops and cake orders that you have? Sometimes they laugh when they hear the real reason. Because believe it or not, I do it for the trees. I do it because I need to buy like socks and grow mats so that I can plant a lot more seedlings for trees, so that I can, usually I do it on my birthday month. The trees, because in the Philippines, that's also the same time wherein it's rainy. So September is the month wherein it's a little bit cold and rainy.
Yes.
So when you plant trees, they grow more, they grow fast, and they grow big.
It's my
So
birthday
yeah.
month as well. So, yeah. Good luck.
Both of you.
Yes, we are. We are. When is your birthday? It's when is
So,
it? Your birthday?
believe it or not, I was born the same day as Mama Mary,
The
September 8th.
8th, the 8th, right? Yes, I'm in the 6th, a little bit before, but there you go. We're very close by. So great, good. That's why we're like. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, of course you're gonna have. beautiful trees if you plant them in September, not because it's my birthday month as well, but because it's good for the trees.
Yes, yes.
That is gorgeous. Well, if you want, if
Oh,
the people, yes,
yeah.
yes, tell me.
Before I forgot, in terms of, because I actually talked about another industry that I am part of, which is the trees and agriculture and stuff. In terms of cakes, I'm actually trying to. My goals are more on, of course, more on workshops. So this time around, I'll be, because I was known first for sugar flowers,
Mm-hmm.
but this time, because I also do sculpt and paint, so I'm slowly will be releasing more contents on that and
Okay.
workshops as well on that kind of thing. Because I kind of hold back myself when I started because I don't want to cross too many paths in the industry.
Okay.
You know, because I have friends who are also teaching, keep decorating. I have friends who are also teaching sculpting here in the Philippines. So before I finally set the goal for this year, I actually had to meet them one by one and tell them that, like the courtesy that I was I'll start to somehow teach sculpting, but it's not gonna be human figures. It's gonna be like animals and stuff.
Okay, that's
So
good. That's good.
just to make sure that there's no competition
Yeah.
and to also give them a fair share of the market. Expect from me.
That's very nice. And I think you're in the right moment to expand, if you allow me to say that, because you already have your name done in the niche of sugar flowers and people know who you are.
Yes.
So I think it's a perfect time. And if you have the courtesy with your peers, that's even nicer and even better. So everyone listening, what I was going to say before, everyone listening, if you want to support Mark and the trees in Philippines, go to his workshops because you know that part of the workshops are going to be first you're going to learn from a fantastic teacher. You're going to walk away with a magnificent knowledge of whatever he's teaching and you're helping the forest. So, there you go. You have a win-win for everyone. What do you think about that? It's done, right? Mark, in order to
Yes.
close our interview, which has been amazing, fantastic, I loved having you here and getting to know you a little bit more because it's funny, we have known each other, what, since the pandemic, maybe 2 years, 3 years? It's
Yes.
gonna be 3 years since the group opened, and Mark was always there with his demos and participating. He's always been available for our group, Cake Friends Stay Creative, and we got to know each other. But it's funny, all the stories that you're telling right now, even though I follow you on social media, I know about your house and your flowers, but all that background story I didn't know about, and it's amazing. And I knew you were a nice person, but I mean, you're beyond nice. You're a very beautiful soul. So it's an honor to have you here in the show, and I hope that some of the things that he has said, and like I said, I've been getting goosebumps all show because I mean, it's amazing to think that somebody that young could have that mindset already, you know, right into your head, and it's very there's hope in the world when I hear people like you because and I know there's other beautiful people out there who thinks like you and like me and trying to do what's best and spread
Yes.
love and happiness. I know that. But to end the show in a kind of funny note, uh let me ask you this. If you could bake a cake for a famous person, dead or alive, who would that be? And what kind of cake would you bake?
Oh, that's a very interesting.
It is,
That's
right?
very interesting. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Something,
for
someone that you admire,
me,
maybe.
yeah, someone that I admire the most. For me, that would be one of our national heroes, which is Dr. Jose Rizal. Because he was actually alive during the colonization era,
Okay.
and I really admired growing up his confidence and the way he actually uses his special ability, special talents, in order to create changes for the Philippines that time. For me, I would have to create a cake that is sculpted. It's like a cake of uh, Filipino men and women in half, and then the eyes and the mouth, it's gonna be protruding and coming out with a lot of our Philippine florals. So the
Oh,
message is that I wanted Filipinos to see. I wanted Filipinos to actually speak for themselves. You know that at times there are things that are not right. So speak up. You need to be heard. This actually does not only apply to our country, but this actually applies to us, everyone.
yeah.
Sometimes the courage to correct someone who you see is doing something wrong. Actually, if you are in that situation, if you disregard it or ignore it, that could create a big change.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually step and, like compassionately converse with that person to correct that, I mean, in a nice way, so that you don't get into an argument, that could actually create or save someone's lives.
It is.
So
Yes.
that's what I know it's too deep, but yeah, it's like a face of two, a man and a woman, Filipino. Then the flowers are coming out from the eyes and then the mouths, so that they can
That
see and
symbolized the,
speak.
yes. That's beautiful, Mark. I would love to see that cake for sure. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank
And
you.
and yeah, I mean, if the biggest takeaway I think we can get from today's episode, Mark, is your uh, one of the things that you said, you mentioned before when you were talking about your family and politics, and now that you're talking about this, is that the change starts within, with us. We always expect, we have
Yes,
this
correct.
idea of the government will do it, or my mom will do it, or my husband would do it, or I don't know, my family would do it, or somebody else would do it, and I'll wait. And actually the change starts within, it starts with us. And when people realize how powerful that is, that's when things are going to start to really change, right? So
Yes,
yeah,
correct.
that's beautiful. Thank you, Mark, so much. You have no idea how happy I am to have you here. This has been a great morning for me. Uh,
Thank you
I'm
so much.
I'm beyond happy to have you here in this episode, and I'm sure everybody is going to love it. I will be sharing in this episode all of Mark's social media, so you can get to see his social media. When I share the episode on my social medias, I will share the picture. Mark sent me the picture of his grandma and himself baking the cake for the first time, which is beautiful. And the first 5-tier cake he made is crazy. I mean, it's crazy that that was the first cake you made. I will be sharing that as well. Mark, big kiss to you. All the success in the world, all the most beautiful things happening to you in this world, for your life, for your family, for your loved ones. And thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, thank you so much also, and I'm very happy to share for all of you guys here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. And to everyone here in the episode, I'll say goodbye as I always say goodbye. Stay safe and stay creative, my friends. I'll see you next time. My sweet, sweet friend, if you like this episode, if you love this podcast, I will kindly, kindly ask you to leave me a started review, whatever you're listening to this episode, that is available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and I think a couple of other ones. But in any of those, just leave me a review, leave me a couple of stars or 5 stars if you like it. So people will find this episode, the algorithm would put it out there, and more of our K community will benefit from it. Share it with your friends. Download the episode and share them. Share them on your social media and tag me, because I will answer you back. Of course, I will. And send me comments, send me your review, send me your feedback. Even if you don't agree with anything that I say, I would love to hear your opinion. You can find me in any of my social media accounts. I will be leaving the links here on this episode description. I'm on Facebook as The Art Cake Experience. I am on on Instagram at Christina underscore the Art Cake Experience, or you can even find me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, the Art Cake Experience channel. So thank you so much for listening, and please leave me your review and leave me your comments and your feedback. I would love to hear what you have to say about any of these episodes.